Nigeria must catch up with progressive modern medical technological trends if it is to breach the infrastructural deficit in healthcare delivery in the country. Speaking at the Nigerian Medical Association NMA's 57th Annual Delegate Conference in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, the president of the NMA, Mike Ogirima, also added that the government needs to reduce capital flight by encouraging medical entrepreneurship in Nigeria.
Policymakers and medical practitioners in Nigeria converge at the NMA 57th Annual Conference tagged Technology in Medicine, Implications for Healthcare in Nigeria.
Dr. Hallelujah here.
The president of the NMA explains that the theme is born out of the desire to advance medical practice and healthcare delivery.
Our sub-teams are well thought out to address several other issues in the health sector, and this is on medical entrepreneurship and encouragement in inward medical tourism.
For some traditional rulers at the event, there is need for a massive funding of primary healthcare system, the closest to the people. They advocate the speedy passage of the National Health Bill.
The other thing to mention, just quickly in passing, I might have an opportunity to close the remarks if I have time, I don't think so, is the operationalization of National Health Act. I beg you, it's one fight you must fight and fight and fight until everybody understands it.
And that is why we are pleading that since the federal government was able to establish the Pt.4, where the private sector is taxed, and the money that is taxed is used to develop our universities, we pray they should also set a fund to be able to fund our hospitals, our medical centers, and so on.
Responding to this advocacy, leaders at both state and national levels give their account of stewardship in tackling challenges in the health sector.
The introduction of the universal health coverage by the Federal Ministry of Health is expected to birth enormous benefits, but this can only be achieved with the use of technological resources.
This administration saw the need for it and has thus established the Primary Healthcare Development Agency, which has effectively brought all manner of primary healthcare under one roof.
Currently, some parts of the north have recorded over 730 deaths from the outbreak of meningitis, the highest so far. Perhaps, if the talking points here are activated, Nigeria's comatose healthcare system may begin to give hope and help the most vulnerable in the society.
Coming up, some sports news and not too cherry news coming out from France. Former Super Eagles goalkeeper Vincent Eyama has been ruled out for the rest of the season with a knee injury. Eyama missed Saturday's 3-0 win over Greencombe, and manager Franck Passy has now confirmed he will undergo surgery and miss the club's last 4 Ligue 1 games. Germany's head coach Joachim Löw has confirmed that World Cup winner Mario Götze will not play at the FIFA Confederations Cup in Russia as he recovers from a metabolism disorder. Götze scored the winning goal for the Germans at the 2014 FIFA World Cup final in Brazil, but has been sidelined since February after his club Dortmund revealed he has an unspecified metabolism disorder. The third seed Rafa Nadal remains on course for 10th Barcelona Open title after advancing to the quarterfinals with a 6-3, 6-4 victory over Kevin Anderson. It was Nadal's 50th victory at the tournament. He has won 9 times, and the Spaniard never looked in danger against the world number 66, forcing 10 break points throughout the match. Nadal will face Hyung Chung in the last 8 after the Korean outclassed Alexander Zverev of Germany 6-1, 6-4. Maria Sharapova picked up a second win in as many days on her comeback from a 15-month doping ban after beating fellow Russian Ekaterina Makarova at the Stuttgart WTA tournament. The 30-year-old 5-time Grand Slam winner dominated Makarova 7-5, 6-1 in just 1 hour, 20 minutes in the second round tie. She will face Estonian qualifier Anett Kontaveit, who beat French Open champion and 5th seed Gabin Muguruza of Spain in the second round for a place in the semis. Anthony Joshua has warned Vladimir Klitschko that respect goes out the window when the opening bell sounds for their hotly anticipated showdown on Saturday night. Joshua will make the third defense of his IBF title against the Ukrainian, and the vacant WBA super belt is also at stake as the pair headline a stacked card at Wembley Stadium to be seen by millions of boxing lovers around the world. And that's a wrap on Sports News. I'm Ayotunde. Following the news at 10 continues with more.
The police in South Africa say they have arrested a suspected coup plotter for planning to assassinate nearly 19 people, including government ministers, officials of state-owned firms and prominent citizens. The 23-year-old man was arrested yesterday following undercover operations in the capital, Pretoria, and the main commercial city, Johannesburg. The suspect, a founding member of the anti-state captured death squad alliance, ASCDSA, was arrested while trying to explain to donors how the assassination of state-captured beneficiaries was going to be carried out by the undercover cop plot's snipers. The US has announced that it will tighten sanctions on North Korea and step up diplomatic moves aimed at pressuring the country to end its nuclear and missile programs. President Donald Trump's strategy was announced after a special briefing for all 100 US senators. Tensions have risen in recent times and fears the North is planning new weapon tests. The US already has extensive sanctions in place on North Korea, including a blanket ban on trade and a blacklist of anyone dealing with North Korea. And the main news again, the National Economic Council today resolved to look into the spending of the ecological funds by state governors. The council also read the riot act to cattle rustlers and militia groups across the country, promising that government is set to deal with the menace. Also today, the former secretary to the federal government, Babachir Lawal, for the third time failed to appear before the Senate committee investigating the alleged fraudulent contracts awards for the presidential initiative in the Northeast. And a military coup d'etat was today foiled in South Africa, curbing fears of another era of military dominance in politics. And that's how it's been on the news at 10 tonight. I want to thank you so much indeed for being a part of it. On behalf of all of us here, have a splendid night, friends. Good night.